Now we are going to see how to exchange data between front end and the back end. We saw previously how to exchange data with the front end with GET request, so we send hello API. But what we did is only exchanging a string, which is hello API. So we need to exchange JSON data. For example, the product is an object consists of ID, name, image, and price. So now let's simulate the product's API. So at first, let's have the nice prefix as before. So I am going to use the backticks, which are very helpful to combine between constants and strings without using this plus. So now let's remove this part and create a backticks, and with a sign dollar and curved brackets I will make API, and then let's say products. Let's remove this part from here and also this one, and I'm going to create a constant, let's say product, and this product is object, contain ID, let's say 1, and name, let's say hairdresser, and image with, for example, some URL. So you have option here to select double quotations or single quotation, but with JavaScript it's better to use always single quotations. In the response, let's send this product to the front end, and we will run the application. Now we have the application running. Let's go to Postman. Postman is application as we talked before, and we saw how to install it. So I can call APIs like with get methods, post, put, etc. So let's have here our API 3000, and then API / version 1 / products, and I click send. Then the response is the object which I created already. So we assume that we are building this object by getting the data of the product in the database or from the database, and then send them to the front end with the get method. So what if the user or the admin of the application of the eShop will send or for example create a new product? So the new product need a data which will be sent from the front end. So now let's change this method from get to post. For example, I will copy it and say post, and the post requests need also data. This data will come from the front end. So how I get this data from the front end? It's very simple, by using request.body. So after posting the data of the body, I am going to send them back to the front end. So let's create a constant, let's say new product, and this new product will be request.body. So let's make it like this, console.log the new product. So we go to Postman. In Postman we change this method from get to post, and the body of the request will be, for example, a JSON row, which is JSON, and then I can pass, for example, this object. And when I click send, we see that we return 1. And in the console log, I got undefined. So the problem is that the body is not parsed well. So we need something called a middleware. The middleware is a function that has control of the request and the response of any API. So when the front end sends JSON object, we need the back end to understand that this is a JSON. So please analyze it and use it in the back end. Doing that is done by a library called a body parser. So this body parser, we can install it from npm packages, npm install body parser, and this body parser we will call it with the require method. So I say const body parser, and this body parser comes from require body parser. After that, I will make a special section for calling the middleware APIs or the middleware methods. So let's say here we have a middleware, and in the middleware I will say app.use the body parser .json. So in this case, my application or my backend will understand the JSON which is sent from the front end. So back to Postman, after running the server again and post this body data, let's say send, we will see that we return this data. And in the console log, where I console log this data after the post request, I see that this data received by the backend. So now we are able to make a get and also post of the data. I will, for example, change here hairdresser 2 and send it, and I will get back the hairdresser 2. So now our API is ready. We are now starting to build this API structure for orders, for products, and for users, as we talked before in the previous section. In the next lecture, we will see how to log these API's events. For example, when someone posts data or get data, we will log them in the console of our application.